November of 2023, Donna Adelson was arrested at Miami International Airport. You must follow the law. The law says...
Glorious. Is it a lawsuit? Probably. Why not?
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law with attorney Larry Forman. Folks, today we are going to shift gears and we're going to start talking about Donna Adelson. Donna Adelson's trial began last week on Tuesday, August 19th. And here we are about a week later. There was jury selection going on for a few days. On Friday, opening statements began. And of course, this week we are in full swing. I also heard that Wendy Adelson testified yesterday. So we're going to be diving into that very, very shortly here on this channel. But for the time being, as you know, what I like to do is I like to take snippets from the trial, break them up into bite-sized pieces, take the most important stuff so that you don't have to sit there for 7, 8, 9, 10 hours straight watching footage, which I understand not everybody has the time to do. So this is what we did in the Karen Reed case. This is what we did in the Alec Murdaugh case. This is what we did in the Johnny Depp trial. And we are going to continue the same pattern on this case in Donna Adelson's murder trial. Now, what happened? We got to start at the beginning, right? Who is she? What is she about? Why is she on trial? And why is the world watching? Donna Adelson is a 75-year-old former bookkeeper from South Florida. She is currently on trial in Tallahassee for her alleged involvement in a 2014 murder-for-hire plot, which resulted in the death of her former son-in-law, Dan Markel, or Dan Markel. Let me know in the comments below if I'm pronouncing those correctly. As you know, I like to butcher names on this channel. She's facing charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and solicitation to commit murder, hence the murder for hire. So what happened to Dan? Dan was a prominent Florida state law professor. He was shot twice in the head on July 18th, 2014, as he was pulling into his garage in his home in Tallahassee. He died the following day in the hospital. The killing was executed by 2 hitmen. And here's some more butchering of names for you. Hopefully I'll be pronouncing those correctly. Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera, who drove up from South Florida to commit the attack. Rivera later cooperated with authorities and pled to second-degree murder. He got a 19-year sentence. Meanwhile, Garcia was convicted of first-degree murder and is currently serving a life imprisonment sentence. And I'm sure the question you're all asking yourselves, if you haven't been asking it for all these years, is what was the motive? Why carry out the assassination of Dan? Why hire hitmen? And of course, who hired them? That is the topic of today's and future videos on Donna Adelson's murder trial. The murder stemmed from a bitter divorce and custody battle between him and his wife, Wendy. She is Donna's daughter, Wendy Adelson, with whom they shared 2 young sons. They divorced in 2013 after just 6 years of marriage. Now, Wendy was seeking to relocate her children to South Florida at the time, because she wanted to be closer to her family, namely Donna and the rest of the family, including her husband, Harvey Adelson. However, a judge denied that request, citing it is not in the children's best interest. For those of you who know anything about family law, judges determine whether or not relocation of children is appropriate based on a very simple test, best interest of the child. Is what you're about to do in the best interest of the child? If the answer is yes, then usually the request is granted. If the answer is no, well, usually the request is denied with obviously some gray area. But the dominating key factor is best interest of the child, and if the court determines that the action that the parent is trying to undertake is not in the best interest of the child, usually that will get denied, and that's what happened in this case when Wendy tried to take her 2 young sons down to South Florida and the judge said no. Now, the prosecutors in this case are saying that this infuriated the Adelsons, particularly Donna, the grandmother. She viewed Dan as an obstacle, which prevented her daughter and grandchildren moving down to South Florida. So the natural course of action is, well, kill him, take him out, right? That way we don't have to worry about him anymore, and the children will be safe in South Florida. I mean, that's what you would do, wouldn't you? Now, the authorities are claiming that the Adelsons orchestrated this murder for hire in a scheme to eliminate Dan. Donna's son and Wendy's brother, Charlie Adelson, who happens to be a periodontist, he was convicted in November of 2000 23 of murder in the first degree, solicitation, and conspiracy for masterminding the plot. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. Charlie allegedly recruited his then girlfriend, and here's another name I'm going to butcher, Catherine Mabanua. I'm just going to call her Catherine. Magbanua. I don't know how to pronounce names. You'll have to excuse me. Who connected him to the hitman because Garcia was the father of Catherine's children. You see, it's all starting to come together. Catherine was also convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. Now, payments for the hit, which totaled around $100,000, were allegedly funneled through the family's dental practice, the periodontist, naturally, Charlie, where Donna worked as a bookkeeper. Some of the evidence includes the delivery of a bag of cash by Donna to Charlie the day of the murder, and also signing certain payroll checks to Catherine, who for some reason was added to the practice's payroll despite doing very little work for the dental practice. So despite the fact that all these people are now already sitting in prison, namely the killers, her son, the girlfriend, Catherine, Charlie, they're all behind bars. Next up is Donna herself. And why is that? The prosecutors are alleging that she was the mastermind behind the whole operation because she's the one who wanted her family reunited in South Florida. They're claiming she was a central figure who manipulated and controlled the situation because of her own controlling personality and her intense desire to have her family close by. Now, there were some communications that were intercepted by the jail, including certain jail calls and emails, showing her discussing the custody issue very suspiciously and very aggressively, such as going so far as to suggest that Dan should be strong-armed into allowing the relocation, going so far as offering him $1 million from the family, which Wendy called absolutely crazy. One particular email from Donna Adelson stated, quote, "Everyone has a price. Fight for yourself," end quote. You see the controlling personality shining through with just that one phrase alone. An undercover FBI sting back in 2016, where an agent posed as a blackmailer and approached Donna, further captured Donna's involvement and certain conversations which implicated Donna in her involvement in the plot to murder Dan, her son-in-law. So, how did we get to August 2025 for the jury trial? Back in November of 2023, Donna Adelson was arrested at Miami International Airport while she was trying to board, are you ready for this? A one-way flight with a one-way ticket in her possession to Vietnam. Why Vietnam of all places? Are you going on vacation for an indefinite period of time? Say, oh, I don't know, for the rest of your life? Why specifically Vietnam? Why not go to Europe? Why not go to South America? Oh, because Vietnam does not have extradition with the United States. So even if the United States government asks the Vietnamese government to extradite Donna while she's in their country, the government will refuse the United States' request. You see, the plot continues to thicken. And by the way, to add insult to injury, this was days. Her arrest was days after Charlie's conviction. She realized that she was probably going to be next on the chopping block, and she decided to flee. Luckily, she was intercepted. They were watching her, no doubt. Now, her husband, Harvey, was with her, but he was not charged. And prosecutors, of course, are going to argue, and they are arguing, that Donna was fleeing in order to avoid accountability for her participation in the plot to murder Dan. Simple enough, right? Now, you want to guess as to what Donna's defense is? Because you're not ready for this. Donna's defense was there was an extortion scheme at play. And Charlie testified to this during his trial. She was distraught about her son's fate and that she was not a co-conspirator to the murder for hire that killed Dan. Now, Wendy Adelson, who has not been charged and denies any involvement at all, actually testified yesterday. And we'll be getting to that video very shortly on this channel, probably by the end of this week or possibly this weekend. And she is testifying because she has immunity. While on the stand, as you will hear, Wendy will describe her mother as overprotective and emotional, but denies any claims of her being controlling, of Donna being controlling of Wendy and others. Wendy acknowledges that she shared her frustrations with her inability to bring the children to South Florida to be with the rest of the family, including emails where she expressed hatred towards her deceased former husband in emails during the custody battle. But she maintains her innocence, claiming that she was unaware of any plot to assassinate Dan. Donna's estranged son, not Charlie, but another one, also testified about her controlling nature. And if Donna Adelson is convicted, she will be facing life imprisonment, naturally. So, without further ado, after this very long introduction into the case, in our next video, we are going to dive into the judge's instructions to the jury, followed by opening statements and then testimony from various witnesses. So I hope you all learned something. I hope you all enjoyed this introduction, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.